morning. Welcome to CADX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Tuesday, November 30th, 2010. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. It's 4:30 p.m. in London. Mexico City, it's 10:30 a.m. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CADX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CADXTV. On this day in history, birthdays in 1874 at Blenheim Palace, only 9 years after the end of the American Civil War, Winston Spencer Churchill was born. He died 90 years later in 1965 as Sir Winston. Now to our main news. The 19 members of the Reinsurance Association of America down in Washington announced that they had a combined net income of $6.25 billion for the first 9 months of this year. That's more than 4 times the number last year, largely reflecting a swing to about $2.7 billion in realized capital gains from a year earlier losses of $2.5 billion. The swing in capital results served to offset a 4.2% drop in earned premiums and a 57% reduction in underwriting profit. The company's combined ratio for the 9 months increased to 96.6% from 95%. The improved investment environment could be seen by the fact that all but one of the RIA companies posted realized capital gains for the 2010 period. As for net income, the biggest turnaround was recorded by Berkshire Hathaway's National Indemnity Unit, which swung to $4.2 billion in profits from a loss of about $292 million last year. Other impressive gains included Munich Re America and Odyssey Re. Swiss Re is coming out with one of their periodic catastrophe estimates. They showed that initial estimates for natural catastrophes cost the global insurance industry about $31 billion in 2010. Man-made disasters triggered claims of about $5 billion more dollars. By comparison, insured losses totaled only $27 billion for 2009. Despite higher than average earthquake losses, overall claims were in line with the 20-year average due to, guess what, significantly lower American hurricane losses. The hurricane season ends today, by the way. Take that, Dr. Gray, out in Colorado. In the first 11 months of 2010, 8 events each triggered insurance losses in excess of $1 billion. By far the most costly event was the February earthquake in Chile. Swiss Re is still calling these preliminary estimates, but they're saying it's about an $8 billion hit. The 7.7 quake that struck Christchurch, New Zealand in September cost about $2.7 billion. Winter storm Xynthia in Europe had losses of about $2.8 billion. 2010 was also the deadliest year for cats since 1976, which had the big Tiantian, China earthquake. About 260,000 people died. The biggest event, of course, was the earthquake in Haiti in January, in which 220,000 people died. Aon is coming out with some estimates about an expected insurance claim of about 72 million Australian and 70 million US for damage to the Qantas A380 from the Trent 900 engine. The aircraft insurance arm of Aon said in its monthly insurance update that the incident quote had been valued at just under 70 million US as a result of the significant damage to the engine and the wing. This counts only equipment damage and not business losses from the grounding of the A380 fleet. Qantas may yet seek compensation from Rolls-Royce, maker of the engine. Aon estimated that the Qantas incident lifted airline industry insurance losses to just a shade under $2 billion so far this year, slightly below the $2.1 billion recorded at this stage last year. Alan Joyce, the Qantas CEO, on Sunday declined to estimate the cost of the business interruption caused by the engine explosion. Here's some news. Markel Corporation's chairman and chief executive, Alan Kirshner, will likely be out of the office for most of December and January while recovering from medical treatments, the company announced in a statement. Mr. Kirshner said, "I'm confident that the business will be in good hands with the oversight of members of the Office of the Chairman, Steve Markel and Tony Markel, and Mike Crowley and Tom Gaynor." He said he's looking forward to returning to the office by February and resuming my day-to-day activities. We wish him well. And Munich Re is leading the hit parade of insurers exposed to Irish bonds. Munich Re was exposed to about 2.4 billion euros worth of Irish government bonds as of the third quarter of 2010, only accounted for about 1.2% of its total non-linked assets. Munich Re was the most heavily exposed to Irish bonds among large listed European reinsurers. The Swiss insurance group Zurich Financial was second biggest. They had 1.2 billion euros. Generali was third biggest. They had 1.8 billion euros, or half of 1% of non-linked assets. The Zurich exposure was 6/10 of 1% of the non-linked assets. Stock market in New York is down about 47 points right now. We'll go to a word from our sponsor and come back with the rest of the news. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is beginning a four-nation tour in the Stans, that area south of Russia. And today in Kyrgyzstan, 2 days before she was due to arrive in the Kyrgyz capital of Bishkek, a bomb was exploded outside of a court. Injured two policemen. One other was actually wounded outside a sports hall being used as a court for a trial of officials of the country's former government. Clinton's visit is intended to offer support for the new government, which provides an air transit stopover for American troops and supplies heading into Afghanistan. Aon has made some news. Aon Benfield, specifically, the global reinsurance broker, they've announced the appointment of Maggie Westdale as global chief operating officer. Westdale is going to retain her present position as chief financial officer and shall now be responsible not only for oversight of the firm's financial results, but also Aon Benfield's global operations. That's a double big job. Ms. Westdale joined Aon Benfield a year ago. Before that, she had spent 10 years in numerous roles at CNA. Earlier, she had been an associate at Price Waterhouse. She's going to be reporting directly to co-CEOs Mike Bungert and Dominic Christian. Well, the final story is an interesting one. The crash of a small homemade plane south of Portland, Oregon, pictured here, killed the pilot. The pilot was a 68-year-old Vietnam Air Force veteran named William Kennedy, and the plane was a homemade plane. The plane crashed yesterday in a tree farm near Leonard Airport near Portland. The pilot was accompanied by his dog, an Australian Shepherd dog named Charlie. The dog survived. The dog ran from the burning aircraft to a nearby elementary school where faculty members found him with singed fur and smelling of smoke. The dog survived the fiery crash and was brought home. He recognized his home as they pulled up the street and began wagging his tail. Good for Charlie. Stock market's down about 58 points right now. If we have any other breaking news at all, we'll come back and tell you, but it looks as if the industry is in the throes of the renewal period, so news is pretty scarce right now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.